Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
What's going on, people? This is Inflewence, and I thank you for joining me for another Transformers review. This time I got X-Transbots BOYA Boost, which is their version of wind charger. And let me say off the bat that this is not the greatest of figures. He looks good though. He looks the part. And this was on sale at where was it? TF Source for $24. So it's probably worth $24. It's probably worth about that much, but I know at one point this was like $75, and I would not say that is worth, this is worth $75. So if you find it for that, I would not buy it for that. Just to let you know, just my opinion off the bat. So you have the car, just the I believe is it Trans Am? It's like, I think it's Knight Rider car, so that's why it's called Boost, maybe Power Boost. I don't know, but you have these lights that go up and down on the car. You have nothing else as far as moving. These wings do come off during transformation, and I'll show that. You have plastic tires, and this is the toy version. At least that's what they say, and it rolls pretty well. It's good. See it next to a cliff jumper. So it's pretty much on point with the size of a mini car. And underneath, you basically see his body, but then you have the weapon storage. So his gun stores over here, and this thing right here that is, I forget what it was. It was like the magnet gun, I believe, stores on this side. So yeah, everything stores. This guy is an absolute nightmare to transform, I will tell you. And take a look at the box. Box is normal X-Transbots box. Just got some product shots on the side, nothing on the bottom, just got him on the side. And on the back, you have this thing that is reminiscent of the G1 era when they had that on the back of the boxes. And that's about it for the box. Pretty small box too. Accessories you get, again, the gun, the magnet gun, and you get an extra face. Let me see if I can focus. That face just pulls off, tabs back on. And that's about it for the car. You get the card, Boost BOYA. His tech specs on the back, of course, and you don't really deal with cards. So that's that. We can get into this transformation, which is kind of a pain, and it could, I'm hoping it don't break. This will be the last time I transform this guy. I already did twice, and it's a mess. The engineering is not great at all, to say the least. So this is where you plug this in at. You just pull that out and slots it in there, and then it just goes over and stays in. It's like right under the wheel, so it doesn't affect the rolling. But it's just one single plastic cast. Nothing spectacular. And this is just has a yellow sticker, I believe, or it could be paint. Maybe one coat. And I think it looked like a part of his arm in the cartoon. I'll show it, of course. But so they try to slide it in, and this is where the screw you'll see in robot mode. So it kind of looks like a part of his arm, and it's coming out his arm, which is kind of clever. I like when they do stuff like that. But let's get into this transformation. So the back, you have two small tabs here that can break, and it wouldn't be odd for them to break, which is unfortunate. Let's try to, I just had this up. I should have kept it up because just want to put it up just because you get your fingers in there. I don't have a tool over here right now, but then you want to kind of pull this up and back at the same time. There's those tabs. It's actually on this thing. So these are feet. So you just want to kind of leave that back there like that. Now pull this up. Just get it out. And I kind of try to get this off of the arms just to get this part. It kind of slots in, pushes down and in. Pull that up. And then there's two slots here that go underneath. It's kind of hard to, it's hard to see, but you see where that breaks. I gotta stop using the terminology because this guy, I'm kind of hard pressed. So we can, it's kind of like that, but we can wait to do that because it's a lot going on there. Pull that down. You see his face already. You want to pull this back. Kind of goes over, it kind of flexes to go over top of that. Then you can pull all this back and then push it down like this. Pull this up. Just to get it out the way. It encloses all of this stuff. So now the arms, I'm gonna try to get the arms out. They're kind of tabbed in there. They're bunched in, squeezed in. You want to rotate and kind of pull down. It's kind of a nightmare. It is. This transformation to engineering is not good at all. But then once you start undoing this stuff, it'll come out. A lot of it, when I first did it, it felt like it was going to break, and it still feels like it's going to break. The plastic doesn't feel great. The tabs don't feel strong, but now you can get this out easily. So that's probably better to do it that way. So you push this down in order to get this up like this. Then you pull these back up and you kind of accordion this in, and that'll be its final spot. Then you accordion this up here. Oh, I do this. I don't know if it's in the directions at this point, but then you just accordion that up, and that's kind of how this sits on his back. So I just do that to get it out the way. These feet are the worst. The arms are kind of crazy too. Just pull these feet away. You spin these around and get them in their final position. At least I do. I don't know if it tells you to do it right now, but I do, just so I don't get situated, so I don't get jacked up in this situation. I usually put these arms up. I save them for last. They're kind of strange too. But now with this is a mess. So you pull this out. It tabs in there. You got to try to pull this out of the hole. That it's not a big tab. See that tab? So you get this like this. You want to move this over there so it goes like this, and then all of this is going to spin around, but it spins this way. It probably would have made more sense to spin it this way, and then you wouldn't have all this in the way of all this, but it doesn't. It spins this way. So as you're spinning it this way, you got to try to clear all this stuff out. So this is on like a double hinge. It moves up. If you can see how that kind of moved up, and you can slide this in. So then you can have it in here or around. This comes off constantly. It's a pain. It's the spoiler. I don't even know how to, yeah, like that. but I'll probably glue that on as soon as I get done. I didn't glue it on now just because I wanted to show the whole thing. So as you're spinning this around, you just got to try to maneuver all of this out. This screw hole barely fits past that, but it can fit past it. So as it's going past it, you got to maneuver. All this stuff is loose. So you just want to try to get it out the way the best you can. And whatever that means to do, it's hard to show because as you're maneuvering it, you got to, again, accordion this up or down depending on your needs. That thing falls off again as usual, and you just keep moving it this way. So now you're in the final position. Move this tire over, and that is probably the smoothest that ever went in my life. Of course it would on camera. That's the heel spur. So then there's a hole there that peg goes into. You slide that out once again and push it in. And you got a foot. Well, no, you want to pull this down. This actually goes down before you do this. So you just want to move this, put this down, then slide. It kind of just makes a cover for this hole. Then you slide this back up. Now push it in again. And it's in. And where's the, guess I can put this back now. Oh, and maybe that's why it was so easy, because as you see, the spoiler's not on there. So let me put the spoiler back and see if it's still, oh yeah, no, it's still slided fine. Let me see if I can get this one and try to show it a little better. Or I don't know. I think I actually showed that as well as it could be. So again, you pull that out, push this back, accordion it as much as you can, and then you just start maneuvering this. Pull this way. And again, you see that screw barely makes clearance. So as you're clearing, you got to be mindful of all this stuff. And you're spinning it around and you're just trying to put it wherever it can go, where it doesn't hit every single thing that is moving. It's really a pain. It's a pain. It's not engineered well at all, to say the least. So now maneuver this way. Doesn't help being on camera either. Camera always makes stuff harder. And again, that was a lot easier than it normally is, but not easy at all. And you just want to tuck this back in there, then move this down there like that to kind of cover that up, then move this back over. Let me see. Oh, I don't have it all the way. Gotta have this all the way in order to all right, so now it's all the way in. I think it's all the way. Yeah. It has like kind of a tilted look. You gotta try to get this back down. Whew. Then you get these knees like that. Just knees like that. And you got feet's done. Feets are done. Now for this upper body mess. I'll try to get this out. It's gonna eventually just fill the sides in. So I just move this out like this. Put these side skirts down. for these arms. This is another engineering nightmare, which I don't know what they were thinking. Whatever it wasn't smart. Then again, who am I? I don't make transformers, so I'm not gonna call them not smart, but it's just, I don't know what they were thinking. So this, you have to you gotta maneuver this hand around. Now this was tight. This screw was really tight. And the fact that you're moving it on the screw, you loosen or tighten it as you're moving, because you're actually moving the screw too. So how this hand is, I'm gonna try to explain it. This hand is open. It's has one pin for all 4 knuckles. So you open it like this and you move it, and then you move it this way. So it goes around this piece where it gives enough clearance to go around this piece because it's the open hand. Then you're folding this up. At the same time, you're pushing this in. So as you're folding it up, if you get this maneuvered correctly around that, then you can fold this all the way up like that and have it in the proper position of a hand. And then you just turn it and just get it anatomically correct for the elbow. Then you see where your hand is and you're good. Now that seemed kind of easy, but it's not, especially if you don't know what's supposed to be what. So again, you're turning this like this. At the same time, you're pushing this out, bending this down like this. Then you're moving this. And don't forget to move this out. It's on a little slider, slides out like that. And you're clamping this, then you're moving this all the way up. You again move it so it's out the way. And you're clamping it at the same time, you're moving this, and there you go. And you turn it to get the elbow right. And if the hand's right with the elbow, you're good to go. Now you want to do this middle section. So this is this section, this is supposed to clamp onto here. It's hard to get it onto there, so I'm not going to take too much time doing it because it pushes back like that. But it's not really, it doesn't really clamp great. But so you want all this, and these are supposed to go into here. I don't really worry about them. It doesn't really change what it is. So you just want to bend this waist. You see that waist in there is like you just bend it down about that much, and then you can push these in and it fills out that waist. Not good though. Doesn't fill it out good. If you can see, I mean, it fills it out better the way you have it if you're not trying to maneuver, if you're not messing with it like that, but it's not great. Then this, you just push in there. And again, I don't know if I may have it onto the wheels how you're supposed to, but it's hard. There's just a notch there and you don't know. So that helps as far as keeping the wheels straight when you're moving the arms. But to me, it gives it a little butterfly in if you don't have it locked. So if you have it locked, I may have this one locked. Yeah, I think I do have this one locked. It's not as much. No, I didn't. I just took it off. So it's not as much as butterfly. So you get extra articulation if it's not locked. It doesn't really mess with the articulation. So here's Boost. And here he is. Just chilling. So let's bring in his weapons. As I was saying, this is just a slot that goes into his hand, but it has a little thing to go around that screw, which I hate that screw showing, by the way. But so then it makes it look like it's a part of his hand kind of coming out. And this is the normal masterpiece tab. And that fits in okay. I mean, it fits in well, and it fits in tight to his hand. So he does do that. He has tight joints, pretty tight joints. Like, he's not floppy. And I say as a robot, he's great. He's great looking. He's a good representation. So let me do some comparisons to other mini bots, which I'm not sure how he stands up because this is the first time I put him next to them. So you got Power Glide. See, he's a little bit taller. Got Braun. Again, Braun's taller yet. And you got Beachcomber. They're all taller than him. So I'm not sure how that'll work. I don't know the scale. I may put it up if I can find him with, you know, scale is in the eye of the beholder. Fanstore is probably working on a wind charger. I don't know if it's been announced or not. Haven't really taken too much news in on Transformers lately. So I'm not sure. Maybe that's why it's $24.99. I don't know. But it does feel a little hefty. I think these are die cast, these legs right here, or right, no, these are plastic. I think it's up here. It feels like, this feels like die cast. So it does give a little heft to him, but everything else is straight plastic. And we'll go to his articulation, which he does have like up and down, and he can get his shoulder. He is pretty well articulated. He gets a little more than 90 degrees, but not much. He does have kind of ab crunch and ab waist swivel, should say. Has bicep swivel, and he has this shoulder swivel. And like I said, you can get in. So maybe, you know, if you want to get a pose, like he has his gun over here or something from that angle, it doesn't look as crazy as it does from the straight angle when you see it. He has these little skirts on the side. So let me see, they can get up and out of the way. That way he can do kind of the splits, but as you see, his joints, because his legs are die cast, kind of loose. That one's looser than this one. Can he get front and back? Can he do the hurdles? Yeah, he can do the hurdles pretty well. And it's not bad, it's not loose. I did the waist already. His knee is double jointed, but it's not really, it's double jointed for the sake of the transformation. So you get about 90 degrees and you have this little weird knee thing. He does have thigh swivel, just built at the top in the joint. And then you have his feet, which get him more in focus. His toe tilt, he has a big toe tilt, but it's just a toe and it's just due to transformation really. And he has heel. He can get up a little bit, so he could fake the funk with the heel because the heel gets down. And the heel does the little, and the toe does the little rocker. So he has that rocker. And the hands I showed, they're just on a pin, one pin, and just fixed thumb, no posability. And his head, did I do his head? I don't think I did his head. His head doesn't have too much articulation, down about that much, up that much, and it goes all the way around. And the new face, the different face, which I guess this is the toy face or the cartoon and toy, and this might be the toy. I don't know, because this is the toy version. And you can see I do like his head sculpt. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice head sculpt. Of course, I'll put the faction sticker on. And yes, this has been the wind charger review, X-Transbots Boost. As I said, I couldn't recommend this for $75 or whatever it was when it first came out, but I bought it for $24 and it's well worth the $24. It's about worth the same as a mainline figure to me with a little die cast. It kind of feels like a mainline figure with a little bit of die cast in it. And the engineering is just, I don't know, it's crazy. I don't know how this fits in with my, he looks the part, but as far as materials and heft, and I don't know, I guess these three are the biggest differences as far as materials. Like this Fans Toys, this just feels like a brick because of all the die cast. His whole chest is die cast. He has good plastic, but he has no die cast. His plastic isn't the greatest. It's a little cheaper than this, but it does have die cast. So they all kind of are in between. So it's cool though. It's a cool figure. I just will never transform it. I hate the transformation. And you have you know, little things like this, the gap there you can see, and yeah, so all right, thanks for joining me in this review, and I will get up with y'all in the next one.
Life ain't over, life ain't over, life ain't over, life ain't over. As long as you're alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want it.